Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers. Here, James and Justin, your favorite spiritual analysts on all things culturally relevant. And man, the talk of this week was about Tucker Carlson in Russia interviewing Putin, so we have to touch on this.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't even seen the interview.
Yeah. I've seen so many clips on TikTok of it now that I feel that I have gotten through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do in this video actually is first we're going to start off lighthearted and we're going to watch a little bit of it looks like a computer animated rap song with Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, Joe Biden, and Putin in it.
Yeah.
And then it's done by HirezTV, so you can go check out his channel if you want to go see it without us interrupting it.
Yeah.
And then after, we're going to look at Dylan Page, who does newscasts on like little snippets on TikTok, and he's awesome. He also has a YouTube page. I'll leave a link for him too. But he's doesn't need an introduction. That guy's so famous.
Yeah. On TikTok.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this video first, and then we'll get into the Dylan Page stuff.
All right.
It's your boy, Big Tucker.
It's your boy, Trump the Dog.
Hey, how did I get in the studio?
Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker. Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker.
They tried to stop me from interviewing Putin. The whole world lost their damn mind and they're proving. The land of the free, just not speech, it's confusing. Pull up on Big T, you know that I'm shooting. I'm just a journalist, getting to the truth. CNN and Fox are dead, no one cares about the news. Legacy media doesn't appeal to the youth. These politicians don't give a damn about me or you. George
This is unbelievable that they can do this. Like, first of all, what do we, lose the ability to be astounded? First of all, AI is amazing. Yeah. And then the other thing is, I heard another song that was AI generated with Donald Trump singing, and I liked the song.
Yeah.
He was him singing, "She's a little bit psycho, a little bit," and Donald Trump was singing it, and it was AI did it. And I was like, I've downloaded it. I was like, I like this song. So I just want to say.
No, it's funny, it's appealing, I like it. It's touching on obviously some bigger, deeper points that we'll talk about a little bit later after the newscast part. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's good.
Stephanopoulos and Barbara Walters interviewed Putin, and so did other reporters. But as soon as Tucker goes to Kremlin, quick, call the lawyers. Apparently, I disrupt the whole new world order, protecting Ukraine before our own southern border. Start another foreign war so they can money launder. They want me to apologize, but I'm not sorry. The left is just mad me and Putin did karate.
Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker. Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker.
Hey, how did I get in the studio? Trucker, I wasn't why what? I was I drove a truck. Tell Tucker Carlson that I drove a truck. Putin who? Putin. My family used to live in Russia. Ireland, Russia, Irish Russia. I'm Irish Russia. I knew a Russian when I was younger. He was a bad dude. He would rub the head on my legs, this Russian man in the back of an alleyway. Someone tell this Vladimir Putin that he's got nothing on Straight and Joe.
Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker. Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nations filled with suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker.
So I just want to say that I made an animation that made fun of Joe Biden one time. It didn't really make fun of him. Well, yeah, it did. I made an animation a while back that made fun of him and his rambliness.
Yeah.
But I just want to point out the fact that, he really seems like a puppet to me. He's an old guy, 9 times out of 10, making fun of elderly people that are, confused and maybe even have dementia is not cool. I think the reason why people do this is because
he's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to be the leader of the United States, and that's what kind of like people are pointing out is the ridiculousness of him being in the position that he's in. It's not that it's, you know, when you get old, you know, you start to lose your faculties. That's not.
Yeah, there are people that have literally, comedians finished, you know, like out of breath from making fun of him, and they're like, honestly, it's not even fair to him that he's president. You know, like pushing him onto stage, injecting him with things to make him think straight. Like, spaghetti used to be a nickel. You know what I mean? What do you think? It's not that somebody who is Joe Biden's age shouldn't be president. Like, if somebody wanted to make an argument about that, like, no, you shouldn't be able to be past a certain age and be old. Yeah. That's a separate thing. What I'm saying is, I'm not even necessarily saying that the fact that he's an older guy is what makes it that. It's that he clearly has trouble being coherent. Yeah. You know, and he's holding a position of president. I think, all that's being pointed out.
Yeah. I think so. You know, there was a lot of points in that song pointing towards more of the deeper controversy surrounding why, you know, Tucker Carlson was having an interview with Putin. Should he have been allowed to go there? So now we're going to go into like the deeper facets of that. We're going to watch this Dylan Page video where just short form breaks down what they talked about. And then now we can get into some deeper, more important stuff.
I just watched the 2-hour-long Putin interview, so here's a summary of what happened. The interview starts by Tucker asking why did he invade Ukraine? Did he feel threatened from the United States? To which he somewhat ironically replied, let me take 30 seconds to reference some historical background. He then went on to talk for over 30 minutes about Russian history. Carlson tried to interrupt him a few times, thinking that it may be a tactic, to which Putin explicitly expressed that he became irritated by his numerous interruptions. Good start, but essentially through a long drawn-out process, Putin believes that Ukraine belongs to Russia, citing the creation of the USSR as the point of establishment of Ukraine. This then prompted Tucker to push Putin on, well, if that's the case, why has he not made a move into Ukraine until 2022? He then gives a number of reasons, one being NATO expansion towards Russian borders 5 times, and that Zelensky became president. He says that he won't go into the details, but claims, as he's done before, that Zelensky has ties to Nazis, and that he couldn't tolerate having Nazis on the Russian border. He then claims that Zelensky and the Ukrainian officials have a sworn upon decree to never negotiate with Russia. And then Putin continued by claiming that the war would immediately stop if they were able to negotiate. One person I didn't expect to get name dropped in this was Boris Johnson, because Putin claimed that if it wasn't for him, the war would have already ended 18 months ago. He said that Russia and Ukraine were ready to sign a deal to end the war, which, as a side note, is kind of the opposite of what he said before about Ukraine not negotiating. Anyway, he said that Boris Johnson dissuaded the leader of Ukraine's party from signing, saying that it was better to fight Russia. Johnson has refuted this, saying that it was absolute Russian propaganda. Putin also said that Russia was once close to joining NATO after US President at the time, Bill Clinton, offered the country a place, but that when Clinton went back and spoke to his team, they overruled his decision. He said that he does not want nuclear war with the West because it doesn't make sense, but that the Western media runs a fear campaign to scare their citizens for an elaborate tax scam. Tucker then asks him who he thinks blew up Nord Stream, which is not only the largest act of industrial terrorism ever, but also the largest emission of CO2 in history. Putin then answers that by accusing the CIA. He says that you should not only look at who has an interest, but also who has the capability to go down to the depths of the Baltic Sea and pull off that kind of explosion. Tucker then pushes back, saying that, well, if you had the evidence for this, why wouldn't you present it to the world for at least a propaganda win? To which Putin basically replies that in a war of propaganda, it is very difficult to defeat the United States, and that if they did provide the evidence, it wouldn't achieve results, whatever that means. He said that invading Poland or Latvia is out of the question, that Russia simply don't have any interest in expanding the war in Ukraine, and that such a conflict would bring all humanity to the brink of destruction. Towards the end of the interview, he then asked Putin if he will release the US journalist that is imprisoned in Russia. Putin then goes on to claim that the 33-year-old named Evan was not just a journalist, but a spy that committed espionage, and while they will probably come to a solution that's a win for both sides, they are not ready to do so yet. And that's pretty much it. Go watch the full interview if you want to get the nuance that can't be captured here. And of course, let me know what you guys think of all of this in the comments.
So, because you'll probably have a more solid take, I just wanted to say, what took so long for an interview like this to happen? It's the only thing that's shocking to me is that there's not more opportunities for everybody to say from their position what's going on. Sometimes I think people get a little bit like, don't let them talk. Sometimes somebody's thing will be like, don't let them talk. because that's dangerous if this person talks.
Yeah, dangerous for who?
But if that is true, that don't let them talk because that's dangerous for everybody, I'm like, if that's a danger at all, then you're living in that danger. Then that means you're already being informed in a controlled way that I don't think it's certain that you can always trust the controlled ways in which you're already being propagandized to.
Yeah.
Sorry, now you say your thing.
Well,
That's it.
he mentioned a bunch of things that kind of stuck out there, and one was the big, like, if you watch parts of that interview, apparently it started with a long history lesson, him talking about Russia and like the land masses and what it used to be like and where it's been and all that stuff.
Which to some people right away would be like irritated at.
Oh yeah, they were like, and Tucker even tried to like squelch that. Apparently it made the interview kind of start off kind of rough, but I think the reason he did that is because, you know, based upon who you talk to about Russian history, you're going to get different stories. Like, go watch, there's an amazing documentary by Oliver Stone called The History of the United States or something like, I think it's something like that. And there's another one on Ukraine. And there's other like avenues or like there's other information out there outside of like maybe some of the standard textbook, you know, descriptions of what, you know, the history of Russia and the United States is all about.
I've heard that.
And those, like, you know, and what's that common thing is like, you know, history is written by those who win the wars or something like that, right?
I had a therapist say something to me that one time. Like, they're not my therapist anymore, but it was nevertheless a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
And because I was talking about people that gossip. And
Yeah.
they said, she first of all was like, why are you judging people that gossip so hard? That could be a social survival mechanism for them. And she said, what if bad people are really only the losing team?
Yeah.
They get painted with the brush because they're the losers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not dying on that hill. I'm just saying many things are food for thought. Many things are meant to be held sort of loosely until the smoke clears.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, only in retrospect, thank God I held things loosely and didn't go die on a hill for a cause without knowing all the facts.
I think it's like an elevated, thing to be able to hear two opposing opinions. Like, there's some people that it's like they have their narrative and they're sticking with it, and it doesn't matter what information infiltrates into that way they've chosen to think, it's never going to break the way that they think. It's like if you're pro one way or the other way and you've got your blinders on, you're not going to be able to see it. I think both sides are guilty of doing some pretty crappy stuff over the years, but it's hard to hear about another side when you're trying to win a war. When you're trying to win a war,
well, this is why I don't dabble in politics so much, because I have enough trouble with this, what I see around me. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean people are write-offs, but the carnal nature of just salt of the earth, good church-going or not church-going, just salt of the earth, hard-working people, I already see things that are horrifying in their daily practice of like, why is everyone okay that just happened? You know, why does everybody look past this like ridiculous behavior? And so to me, I can barely be bothered with some of the things that I couldn't even do anything about it. Don't even vote in a system that has any. The only thing you can do is sort of spread awareness, right? Yeah. But who's spreading that awareness? What is the agenda behind it? What everyone's up to? Yeah. Everything, even from what you're watching us on here. Yeah. You never really know what's going on. Even if you know somebody personally, you still don't know what's going on behind their in their personal life.
One of the big stories.
I hope that was a legit point.
Yeah, no, it was. And one of the stories that like stuck out there was that one he was talking about Clinton. How he was like, they were like, because this whole war is over like NATO getting too close to Russia. At least that's part of it, right? Supposedly. And then, they got that story of Putin and Clinton where they were going to like join NATO. Russia was going to like be a part of them. And then like Clinton came back and was like, no, you're not allowed to be a part of it. Like, that's messed up.
Especially if it's true.
If it's true. Yeah, exactly. If it's true. But like, I'm sure there's people out there like, it would be very easy to sweep that on the carpet. That's Putin saying it, so it's false. Is it? Does that make it false?
All I'm saying is, again, from the outsider perspective, I sit in rooms sometimes with people that are like, astounded that anyone would even for a second consider anything Putin said. He's a maniac. Stop talking now.
Yeah.
Or we're not talking anymore until you agree that he's just a maniac, or get out of my house. I've seen people get kicked out of houses because they don't share the same political opinion, right?
Yeah.
And then I've seen other people that make me uneasy in how much they're like, Putin is just a traditionalist. He's just a traditional good guy. He's got totally a bum rap. I'm like, I don't think it's that either.
Yeah.
I think that we're surrounded with... I just told you, man. What am I going to take the opinion of somebody who's like goes in somewhere and is just mean because they feel like blowing off some mean steam on some innocent person?
Yeah.
You've affected how legitimate I think your opinions are.
Yeah. There's so many facets. It goes so deep. They were talking about how like they're using the war machine as a way to like extract money from their people. Like, I don't know about you, but I get TikTok feeds that are flooded of people who are like, you know, I'm broke. I got no money. I'm poor. Where's it all going? And so you start to put all the pieces together from like all the stories.
Yeah.
The more you get informed. And then it's harder to be like, okay, I don't know if I'm necessarily on the side of this war.
But that is a very frustrating thing. That might be the linchpin of this entire video, you know, is I don't know if I'm, that ability to go, I don't know. So many people are horrified at ever uttering the words I don't know. They're like, I'm picking a thing and I'll kill you if you don't just move on because it's too frustrating. I don't have the mental fortitude to hold paradox in my mind. So pick a thing and that's that. And I'm going to double down on the research I do, only verifying that thing. I'm going to go to imright.com and inundate myself with the stuff, and nobody really communicates. Like, I would never have an interest in a debate because I'd be like, I'm not debating anyone. I'll have a private, loving convo where everybody, you know, but debates get murky because you got to keep in mind, in any serious debater keeps in mind, you know, the approval of the crowd, right? Everybody, can you believe this guy? That's like affects the ions in the room, and like now you got to escape out the back. Everybody turned on me, you know, and I'm only care about the truth.
Yeah.
So be careful out there. Be careful out there, and keep an open mind and be patient.
Yeah. And let us know what you guys think. We want to hear from you on this one. Leave your comments in there. About what's going on with this, any higher principles that we might be able to extract from this global situation. And if you liked our video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone, till next time, stay spiritual.